So I'll record. Hopefully it saves another one in addition to the last one and doesn't erase the last one.
All right.
So what do you think worked really well in your salary negotiation role play? What strengths did you discover about yourself? What did it feel like to advocate for yourself and the salary you deserve? Do you want to
This is a very interesting situation.
go?
It's pretty difficult to do.
It is.
Do you think it's difficult?
Yeah. I'm not big on negotiating. So if something remotely sounds decent, I'm like, yeah, sure, it's okay.
Exactly. It's also interesting because going through this assignment, I'm thinking to myself, man, I think there were probably times in my life where I could have been like, maybe I work really hard. I probably deserve this.
Yeah,
So I think that's one thing I learned.
So like I had mentioned previous to recording, I really like how you discuss the negotiations as a manager and
Thank you.
benefits I could receive in addition.
You were way better as an employee, for sure.
Thanks. I had that all worked out. I was like, yep, I got this.
Right.
And strengths about myself. Oh, man. So I know that I'm really good at, like you just mentioned, my employee aspect was really good. Planning what I want to say and like having that plan is what I'm really strong at doing. Of what I want, so to speak.
Yeah. I should have planned more on the employee side because my employer side is so many notes. And then on my employee side, I have like 5 things. And I noticed I was like, that's so imbalanced.
Yeah.
And it's funny because I don't normally see myself as a manager, but then you look at your notes and it's like, maybe I can be a manager.
Yeah. All right, let's see. What did it feel like to advocate for yourself and the salary you deserve?
Yes. Interesting.
It was very difficult to think of, especially like we talked about prior, not really having like a specific job where you can negotiate. So I think it was just difficult all around to kind of come up with what I would potentially negotiate in the future.
Exactly. I agree.
My needs are growing right now. So I think it was just difficult all around.
I see how it could be useful. I get it now. I understand the concept of this. I get it where in the future, especially now as times are changing, where it went from skills based, you can see I can, bang this hammer into a nail. Now it's going to be like, people are not going to be face to face. People are not going to be able to see bang hammer into nail. It's going to be like, how do I know you're working from home when you're at home?
Yep.
I can see you can type on a computer, but I can't really see what you're doing. How do I know you're the best person for this job? So
exactly.
As I can see this process, I get where it's gonna have to be. I myself will have to be able to look more at that screen for sure.
All right. So question 2. What was the most challenging part of the negotiation process for both of you? I would have to say matching up the scripts that we each wrote for ourselves. That was kind of difficult because you would have something totally different than me, and then we'd have to change our thought process and kind of.
Also, it's good, I think, because in real life, that would be the same way.
Yeah.
You wouldn't really know what your manager would say. So I think it was bad and good. Like in class, you'd be able to compare notes beforehand, like, oh, what did you say? Oh, I'll change this real quick.
Yep.
But in real life, you could be like, hey, manager, can I have a 25% raise? There's no way in any company a manager's going to be like, absolutely, unless you work for like, probably not even Elon Musk. He would be like, no.
How would you do things differently in future negotiations?
I would be a better advocate for myself as an employee.
Agree.
Yeah.
And kind of lay out, so since this was in class, and I would kind of think more in depth before I even plan a meeting
Yeah.
with my employer. So like kind of lay out every possible
Scenario.
that I would have to negotiate to get what I wanted. What resources do you need to become a better negotiator? All of them. Give them to me.
Right? Like more practice, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, it would definitely have to be practice and knowledge of just
Mhm.
how people negotiate in general.
Or like watching real people negotiate something.
Yeah.
Like if you were in class and you saw like two real people negotiating a deal, like, oh, that's how it's done. Which I get would be hard to do, but it would.
I worked at Home Goods, and we had to, I don't know if you've ever been to Home Goods or Marshalls, and they have their
So my husband, he used to work at Home Goods.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So we had to like sell the card, which is technically a credit card, and I just felt so bad.
Right?
And I ended up getting a little good at it.
Oh, that's
But
good.
like I would always feel so bad. I'm like, I'm putting these people in bad debt.
Do you want to take this credit card at 5% back, even though it's a 30% interest rate?
I'm like, oh, this is so bad. Are you making me do this?
Yeah. Sales, marketing.
I know.
It's all about marketing, which is weird about this whole situation. My friend says me that all the time. She's like, market yourself, get yourself out there. And I'm like, yeah, no. She's like, yeah.
I know. I tend to kind of do that. So meeting other military spouses to befriend is so hard. So it's always you kind of putting yourself out there, like, and selling yourself for friendship. And I'm like, oh, this is great.
Right.
All right. So question 3, what did you learn from playing both the employee and employer's roles together?
For me, it was definitely easier to play the employer. I don't know why.
For me, it was definitely the employee, only because I don't know, maybe I'm just used to being an employee for other people and kind of on the lower spectrum of things. So now knowing what I want and need in a future job, I'm like, I want it now, give it to me.
See, I want to be in that place. I'm getting there. Like, I know exactly what I need. I just have to know how to be able to advocate for that.
Yeah.
So that's what these are good for, I think.
Yeah, because I definitely have a hard time kind of getting I guess I need the confidence in myself that I am good enough to kind of ask for those things.
I agree.
Because, like I said, being a military spouse, my resume is kind of broken.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't really have any stability. Like when I was working for Home Goods, we were living in New Hampshire at the time, and we had just moved there from California. And I was also pregnant too, so with my son.
Right.
And so I was only there for maybe 8 months. And then we moved out here, and then we've been here for a year, and I'm like, this is, my resume is so broken. I don't know. Like, I feel like I don't have the credentials to be anything else. So I'm hoping that once I graduate, I can feel that confidence and be like, yes, this is what I want. This is what I need. I'm going for it. And I'm not backing down. So.
Right, exactly. See, you're already there.
Yeah. So I just need this degree, and I'm like, yep, help me, please.
Yes, exactly. I think the readings for this week were okay. I'm not exactly sure if all of them were the most helpful.
I
Some
agree.
of them were.
Like the two main ones, I would have liked seeing a video of negotiations, like if there was like a really good one that was posted to the list of to-dos.
Mhm.
But I mean, I guess the second reading was I read that one through.
They're over there. I printed 2 of them. I'm trying to figure out which ones they were.
Oh, the one I'm referring to is the how to evaluate, accept, reject, or negotiate a job offer.
Yes, that's a really good one.
Yeah, I did like that one. It kind of gave me ideas of what direction I should go in.
TED Talk, actually, that one was really good. The TED Talk on how to speak up for yourself. That one was pretty good. So that if you haven't watched it, I recommend it. So I can't. Okay, so she did pick good stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
Probably just because we may have gone through it a little quickly.
Yeah.
Probably because we were nervous about having to have a partner. That we were like, no, let's just get it done now.
Yes. I read through whichever one I have a whole bunch of.
I mostly just started off with the salary negotiation and getting what you're worth mini module.
Yeah.
Because that's what we needed for this one assignment. So I haven't gotten to the other readings yet, which I actually did read through the financial wellness reading.
The snowball one is really good. I'm trying to find it on this list. I'm trying to read it on my phone. The debt snowball, that was pretty interesting.
Okay.
It's pretty much how you get yourself in debt and then how you get yourself out of debt. That one was really interesting.
Okay. Yeah, I did the 9 ways to create a personal budget and stick to it.
Too. Yes.
Mainly because my husband is so bad at budgets.
I bet.
And I plan everything.
Me
And
too.
since he's the one that makes the money, so everything just goes into his account, it's hard for me to kind of delegate, like, oh no, you only get like $100 this week to spend.
Right, exactly.
So, like, I tend to feel bad and I'm like, all right, just spend what you want, honey.
Right, but then you're like, well.
But then I go back and look at the account and I'm like, whoa, how did that happen?
Exactly. But it is. So sometimes I'll do the same thing, but I'll print out these articles or I'll print out stuff and I'll be like, maybe we should read this. And then make it like mostly his idea. So then he'll read it and be like, oh, this was a really great idea.
Yeah.
Very 1950s, but sometimes it works.
Yeah. And lately, I've actually been the problem because with quarantine, I've just been home. So I've just been impulse buying so much. I'm like, okay, I really need to stop.
Right.
I need to like get out of the house, go for a walk, do something because.
Oh, and you're in California too. So are you guys, are you in a lockdown area or are you just,
we are in Washington State right now. And what is that? Eastern Washington, so closer to the Idaho border.
Yeah.
And our governor actually just extended our lockdown, so to speak.
Yeah.
We're supposed to stay home. We can't meet with anyone outside of our household.
Right.
I think grocery stores are supposed to be down to 25% capacity. And I think he just restaurants are closed again, so they're only doing either outside dining or takeout.
Craziness.
Pretty much everyone in Washington is like, no, we hate our governor. We're not going to listen to him. So they're all rebelling and they don't care. And I'm like, this is why it keeps extending. Just listen.
Right? Just listen for a little bit and it will get better.
Exactly. And I've been staying home for the most part since March. And I'm like, you people are ruining this for me. Like,
I say the same thing.
Go somewhere. So I did travel, but like I had to back in August because my friend was getting married and I was her maid of honor. I was like, and my son was the ring bearer. So I was like, we can't skimp out on her. So, like, we broke the little rule for that one little month. But outside of that, I was like, you people just keep going places. You keep going to Florida,
Right.
everything. And I'm like, just stay home.
Stay home.
Wear your mask. Stop rebelling. Just, you know, you have to wear it. Look at it as you putting on your underwear, please.
Right. Exactly. I agree.
Was that the last question?
I think so.
Cool. She's gonna hear my little mask underwear thing because I forgot to stop the